Hi guys, my name is Beth and welcome back to Beth Does Beauty. Today I have only foundation and eyebrows drawn on with a little bit of contour because today I will be testing and trying the new Vulnerable collection from Rare Beauty. I am really excited. Rare Beauty have shown to be really promising. Their foundation and concealer, their little powder compact, are something that I wear on a daily basis. The new Rare Beauty Vulnerable collection consists of 15 makeup items, 1 brush and 1 makeup bag. The makeup bag is something that I couldn't afford to have shipped to the UK. In the collection there are 5 glosses, 5 blushes and 5 liquid eyeshadows. So without waffling on at you anymore, let's just get unboxing. To start off, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Stay Vulnerable liquid eyeshadow. Liquid eyeshadow is something that I have never really tried before. It seems like a very up-and-coming concept that brands are bringing out liquid eyeshadows, but I've not really seen any appeal for it personally. But Rare Beauty definitely sold me on it with their very simplistic colour range. I only have 4 of the liquid eyeshadow shades. I didn't get my hands on the apricot shade, but I have the shades Nearly Neutral, Nearly Berry, Nearly Rose and Nearly Mauve. Next up, I have the Stay Vulnerable Glossy Lip Balm. I have the shades Nearly Mauve, Nearly Apricot and this tiny little sample of Nearly Neutral. Last but not least, I have 2 shades of the Stay Vulnerable Melting Blush. I have the shade Nearly Neutral and Nearly Mauve. The plan for the next part of the video, now I have talked you through the Stay Vulnerable collection, is to swatch all the shades that I have on my arm. So let's just jump right in. We're going to start with the Stay Vulnerable liquid eyeshadow in the shade Nearly Neutral. I love this really sleek packaging. It's really easy to hold because it's not entirely rounded. It's got a flat back to it, which makes grip easy and it doesn't slip out of my hand. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch a little bit on my arm here, and I'm going to use this little rounded dense brush just to spread out the product. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit on because I don't know how much product I'm going to need. Okay, so first things first, it dries really quickly. So when using this, I feel like you kind of have to work quite fast. I am finding it a little bit hard to spread around. You can see where I've applied it here and where most of the spread went. Next, I'm going to swatch under Nearly Neutral. I'm going to swatch Nearly Mauve. They definitely blend out nicely. The problem I'm having is I feel like the product dries really quickly, so you don't get that full effect like you would with a powder. Next, we're swatching Nearly Rose. Oh, now that's a beautifully light pink. I love the colour of that. I feel like maybe I'm putting a little bit too much on. Another clean brush, just going to work really quickly. I love that colour. That is an absolutely sensational shade. Last but not least, we're going to be swatching Nearly Berry. I feel like this isn't really a shade that I would wear on my eyelids, purely because of how dark it feels like it's going to be. I feel like that purple shade vanished. Maybe I needed a little bit more. I have to say, I feel like I maybe didn't apply enough product for the Nearly Berry because it has sort of disappeared into my skin. Pros, beautiful shade range. Love the simplicity of the idea. Love how easy the packaging is to open. Cons, the purple, the Nearly Berry shade, the colour seemed to disappear. And also how quickly they dry. The good news is that this stuff will stay. Like, this is this is not budging. It does not smudge, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. What I'm gonna do is I am now gonna test it out on my eyelids. And I think that I'm going to use Nearly Neutral. I think that's a good colour to start with, because it's a neutral shade, you know? It makes sense. That went on to my eyelid really nicely. It is still a little bit hard to blend because it does dry really quickly, but because of the lesser surface area on your eyelids, I think that you do just get a better range of blending. It is super accessible if you are not a makeupy person and you want something simplistic, which is what the Rare Beauty brand is about. I think is just simplicity and a little bit of enhancement on top of natural beauty and the way you look anyway. I'm just going to even myself out with the other eye and then we will move on to the blush. So now that we've experimented with the liquid eyeshadow, we're next going to jump on to using these little compacts of melting blush. This is the Nearly Neutral shade. Look at how cute that little compact is. How adorable would that be on your vanity? Just, oh, I just love the thought that has been put into the packaging of Rare Beauty products. Very sleek, chic, vanity-friendly products that just would look very cute. I have no problem with having this out on my beauty counter at all because they just look so sleek and beautiful. So this is the Nearly Neutral. And, okay, so... The blush is obviously melted in transport, not Rare Beauty's fault. I think that is just the fact that it's come all the way from the USA to the UK and it's not exactly in its compact anymore. It's sort of slipping and sliding around. That is something that I'm sure we can deal with. It still doesn't make it any less cute. I mean, it's still intact, it's still usable, there is nothing wrong with the product. Oh, I think there's a little bit of a magnet on that to make it close properly. Oh, that's great. So if something like this does happen, and the product happens to kind of pop out of its container a little bit, it means that you're not going to have to worry about spilling if you don't properly close your container. Just going to swatch this on my arm really quickly. Just going to put a little bit on my finger. That's so creamy. That is such a light and delicate shade that I don't think you guys are going to be able to see that. I can definitely see myself wearing that. I'm going to see if I can darken it up just a little bit, see how much we can work with it. And a little bit went a long way. There we go. That is such a beautiful shade. Next, I have the Nearly Mauve shade. Just gonna swatch, remembering which hand to swatch with. Obviously a little bit darker than the other one. And what I like about these is that they're quite buildable. If you want really vibrant blush, you can achieve that, as seen with the Nearly Neutral. But if you want to blend this out and sort of dampen it down and play it cool, you absolutely can too. I think I'm going to be really brave and put the Nearly Neutral shade on my cheeks. I don't normally like putting blush on, but I actually really like the way these glided onto my arm and the way they look very natural. But I kind of, you know, like I kind of want to see how it fares on my skin. So I'll be right back when I've put on this blush. Hopefully it goes okay. Next up, we are gonna test these little lip glosses out. I'm super excited for these glossy lip balms. I love a good glossy lip. If Selena and the Rare Beauty team have managed to nail lip gloss that isn't sticky, I'm gonna be in heaven. We're gonna start off with this tiny little mini sample. How cute is that? Oh, Nearly Neutral. I'm just gonna swatch these on the back of my hand. Literally doesn't feel like I'm putting anything on. It feels so lightweight. Look at that shine. Yes, Rare Beauty, come through. Look at that shine. I can see it on the camera, so I'm hoping you guys can see it too. That is the shade Nearly Neutral. Oh my god, it's not sticky. Oh my god, they've nailed it. I don't know what their magic is, but they have managed to nail a non-sticky gloss. Okay, next up is the Nearly Apricot shade. Just gonna do a little bit of a swatch on the back of my hand. That applicator is perfect. And it looks like, as you can see, you can build up the colour. Because you can keep it really sort of like, if I do one line here, that's kind of like very low-key gloss. There's not much colour to it, that's one layer. But when you layer this up, you get the colour and you sort of, you can build up that colour and the definition. Let's have a look at the Nearly Mauve shade. Again, really loving the applicator. I'm gonna do it here. Oh, that's a gorgeous shade. Yes, I love that. The glide on this is beautiful. It's definitely, a lot of work has definitely gone into this formula. It's buildable, as you can see. The more I layer it up, the more colour you get, the more definition. But if I do a swipe over here, you also get a little bit of colour. But you can also really like dress it down. Like, it doesn't have to be super vibrant. They nailed it. I'm gonna test it on my lips now to see how much they nailed it, whether, because it feels really hydrating on my hand. And given that my hands are quite dry because of all the alcohol gel that I've been using recently, the formula hasn't sunk into my skin yet, which is a good sign. I'm just gonna test this on my lips. That feels like I've put on like a really hydrating lip balm. You can tell that there is a little bit of colour there, but it's not overbearing. It's not super, super obvious. The light catches it. It looks beautiful. And my lips feel really hydrated. It's not sticky either. Once again, Rare Beauty have nailed it with their new collection. I'm really happy with my purchases. As always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to have you here. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button if you want to see more from me. And if you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up down below. It really does help out a lot. Are there any other products that you would like me to try and review? Let me know down in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.